I would really appreciate it if I would be allowed to share some of my testimony with you guys. Okay, when I first met God, I wasn't but 21. I was a young alcoholic. I popped pills. I did drugs. I did uppers, downers. Didn't really like marijuana because it made me paranoid. I was carrying a large gun at this time, a .357 Magnum. Even to work, I would take it everywhere I went. I couldn't walk 10 feet with my bad self without looking behind my back while I was walking with one of the biggest guns you could carry at that time. But that right there, that was fear. Anyway, one morning, while we're setting up at the Hereford House for lunch, we would come in early, 7 o'clock, and set up and open up at 11. Okay, I'm setting up the salad bar. I'm carrying a tray through the aisle in the kitchen towards the front where we serve salads. Okay, while carrying this tray, I had a vision of a tombstone and jail bars in a flat grassy field. And a voice spoke to me in my right side, not in my ear, but in my right side. A voice spoke to me and said, "This is the road you're on." And I didn't know anything about roads other than the roads outside. I knew about those roads, but I didn't know about the roads of life. But these are the roads that he was showing me. And he showed me by showing me the tombstone. And in the way that I was going to be bound. One thing I did not want to be is bound behind bars, or now I know that you could be aware that you were bound in the grave as well. So God let me know that you're going to be bound either in the grave or behind these bars. Which one? So at that time when the voice spoke to me, my body, my blood, muscles, bones, hair, everything about me knew that's God. That's God. What you gonna do? So I was going along with everything else. I end up going to the phone, calling my sister, my oldest sister, Deborah. Asked her, what do I need to do to get saved? And she told me, she hooked me up with the pastor. Pastor told me the next Saturday that I could do it, although this was probably like Friday, and I had to wait that week to go and get baptized. Okay, so during this time, it was settled between me and God that I had already turned over everything. He took drinking from me. I was an alcoholic at 21 before I could even buy alcohol legally. I was delivered from smoking cigarettes. I smoked almost 2 packs of cigarettes a day or more sometimes. And I did all these different types of drugs, smoke wet. I've done quite a bit of things. I've never done crack, but it's just as bad. I was in a deadly situation, but or heroin or nothing like that. But sin is sin. Anyway, I get baptized, and it took my fiance about 6 months to even believe that I was saved, even when I was confessing it. You know, I'm saved. I gave my life to God and walking like it. Even my friends that partied and smoked in the neighborhood, drank, they are the ones that told me, hey, you don't smoke no more, you don't drink. I didn't go around telling nobody anything, but they noticed that I had stopped hanging around and whatever. You know, what's going on with you? You know, you done stopped all hanging around with us. Anyway, I go on to say that me and my fiance, we had one child, and she was pregnant with another one. And for 9 months, I stopped touching her and messing with her. All I did was took care of my kids. I gave myself to God, and God was all over me. I didn't know what to do or how to do it. God took me by grace. I know I'm saved by grace. I could hardly read and comprehend what I read, but God taught me how to read out of the King James Version and comprehend, keep it, and share it. This is the only book that I can read to this day and comprehend and keep it and share it. Anyway, after being baptized, I participated in a 7-day fast with the church. Didn't really know how to fast. I just was being obedient to what they were saying, and yet I didn't even know how to fast. I gave up the food and drinking water or whatever for 7 days. And after that, he told me that you were supposed to at least eat a meal and drink you some water. God ain't trying to kill you, but God kept me, and I grew even stronger. Then that's the only time I really knew that I had been born again. I didn't even know what born again meant, but my life had changed, and I was in a straight ahead movement towards God. Try to save everybody in my life, and everybody I loved, everybody I tried to get saved. Some I chased away, trying to get them saved, and bringing Jesus up all the time, and just not knowing that you can also run somebody away. But I found that out. Anyway, I was told also, now I'm bringing people in all the time. I'm a soul winner by the grace of God. I'm finding out, hey, people follow me to church, and I'm going. They listen to my testimony, and they follow with me. They go with me from the way I've been walking, what have you. It took my wife 6 months, of course, like I said. But God told me when I went to God and said, well, she don't believe I'm saved. And God said, what do you expect her to think? The way you acted, the way you was acting. Well, somebody supposed to believe you saved? Just you do what you're supposed to be doing. This is between you and I. It's between us. You just do what you're supposed to be doing, and that's what I did. And I began to win souls, bring souls in. Almost every time they would open the church up and they'd baptize people. Even on days that the church wasn't open, they would open the doors and baptize these people and whatever. But one day we go and one young man that I know was he had made some changes, and he had given up some things, and he was going with me. We was praying every morning, early in the morning. Then we started going to the church and praying, and we started tarrying and praising the Lord like that. And one of the mothers said that the reason you haven't spoken because you holding something back to this young man. And she didn't even know this young man. And God didn't have her say that, because now it was like his spirit was killed. He was down and out, and we was doing everything every day, all week, all month. He was changed. He was really trying. He was trying to get anchored and find out what was what. Anyway, he was jarred loose. He was knocked loose, and I didn't see him for a long time. The next time I saw him, he was on the streets. He was really, it was some years after, but he was really tore up. But it really made me begin to search and seek what was the truth about this thing. Because I know that I knew my way to hell. I didn't know my way to heaven. But I was an expert at finding my way to the underworld. I knew my way there. And I knew my grandpa. He convinced me about Jesus because that's all he knew was Jesus. He didn't go around praising no man or woman about what type of sermon they preached or who baptized him or whatever. He would thank you, Jesus. He done got struck down before by lightning in the back of his truck and get back up and say, thank you, Jesus. My grandpa. This goes on and on, but I'd like to leave it at I was saved by grace, not by works. Neither do I have anything to boast about. So it gives me a privilege to introduce the gospel to my brothers and sisters, and an opportunity to life eternal with Jesus Christ through Jesus Christ. Not what you do or what somebody else done for you, but what Christ done for all of us and how much he loves us. And I've been on my deathbed several times and come through. I've been healed. I've been delivered. I've been healed several times. I've been on my deathbed. I've been on life support. I've had some situations to where I know without a shadow of a doubt. I've been homeless. I've had my share as well. And these are just building blocks. These are things that you're built upon to make you strong, to build your faith upon, to make your faith strong. Your endurance, to strengthen your endurance. That's what these things are for, to Christians. It's not to kill you. It's to build you. It's not to tear you down. It's to establish you, make you strong. Until next time, thanks for listening.